The Harford Community Action Agency is a nonprofit organization located right here in Edgewood. They help Harford County individuals and families with their food, energy, and housing burdens. What do they do behind the scenes, and how do they help so many residents in need? We'll have all that in the next 30 minutes. Make sure you join us for their incredible story. I'm Christy Breslin, and this is Harford MagaScene. It is my honor to be joined with the CEO of the Harford Community Action Agency, my friend PJ Craig, the fearless leader here. She does so much to give back to our community, and a lot has happened since we last spoke. Hi, PJ.
Hi, Christy. How are you?
Great. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for being here.
Now, PJ, what is the Harford Community Action Agency?
Sure. So Harford Community Action Agency, our acronym is HCAA, for all who know and don't know. We are an anti-poverty agency in Harford County, which means that we help people get through their hardest times of life. So say you've lost a job, you've lost the loved one that was your main provider, or you're just lacking in income for the moment. We're here to help you with your food security needs, your utility burdens, and your housing burdens.
Well, it's been here for a while. When did HCAA first begin?
Yeah, so in 1982 we were incorporated, so we've been helping Harford County residents for about 43 years.
How long have you been CEO now?
So I just celebrated my 10th year, so I'm moving into my 10.5 year. So I've been here for a long time to see a lot of change, the pandemic being the biggest change, and now we're sort of back to normal times.
Let's talk a little bit about the pandemic, because wow, that had such an impact.
Yeah, it had a huge impact on not just the community, not just Harford County, but our infrastructure here at the agency. We had to overnight redo our whole logistical operation, from the food pantry to energy assistance to housing assistance. And you have to keep remembering, we never went home, so we didn't have an opportunity to work from home or stay at home. So we had to be here in the trenches for anyone who had lost a job or who had had to step away from a job due to sickness or anything of that nature. So we've been here through it. We've had some existing customers who are still, unfortunately, unable to return back to work. But for the most part, we are back to normal. But we're still seeing about 20,000 residents annually per year with one or more of our services, and about 7,000 of those residents have children.
I don't think a lot of people are aware how big of a problem we have here in Harford County with food insecurity.
Yeah, so food insecurity is a pretty large problem. We hover, we've been as much as 10%, but it hovers anywhere between 7 and 10% annually. But right now, as I mentioned, we are at about 20,000 individuals who are food insecure in Harford County, which is just a little bit less than 10% of the population. And the biggest concern that we have is that of those 20,000 residents, about 7,000 of them are school-age children.
Oh, that is heartbreaking. But you offer so many programs to help people get back on their feet. Like, what are those?
Yeah, so our main program that we have now is the Harford County Food Bank, and that's where we are sitting right here, and that's where we serve about 100 families per day with food in a range of about 15,000 pounds per week. So you say, well, what does that look like? What does that mean? So that means that an individual or a family will come in and they will get supplemental food that will last them between 3 and 5 days. And that will help supplement their SNAP benefits or other income benefits that they have. So we're serving a good bit of people through the Harford County Food Bank. Our second program is Energy Assistance. It's Maryland Energy Assistance Program. That's to help with utility burden. So if you have a shutoff notice through Baltimore Gas and Electric, or you even live towards the northern end of the county and you have Delmarva, we will help with that energy burden, help you pay a portion of your bill. And then we have our supportive services program, which is housing burdens, which is someone who's at risk for being evicted or someone who's homeless.
Is there certain eligibility requirements for this, or is it something that you can just kind of show up at the pantry?
Yeah, so we have a rule, and so that's we don't post the rule, but since we're on TV, we're in an interview, I'll just be transparent and saying we're never going to turn anybody away from food at least their first time. There's a lot of people who come to our agency don't know what our requirements are, and since we're grant funded, we do have federal requirements that we do have to abide by. So food's the easy thing. We're never going to turn down someone for food, but you do have to income qualify for both the food bank, the food pantry, energy assistance, and housing services, and those financial burdens and regulations per se will vary by program. So it'll just depend on what you need. It'll depend on what your monthly income might be or what your family income might be for that year.
I mean, this is such a worthy cause, and I know you need volunteers.
Yes.
So what would the volunteers be responsible for?
So we love volunteers. We love volunteers that can do anything from heavy lifting of maneuvering the logistics of our daily pantry, so unpacking food, shelving food, inventorying food. We love for volunteers to work at our front window to aid customers that come in every day for either energy assistance or housing services or for the food pantry. And then if you're not really big into the heavy lifting or the customer service aspect, like face-to-face, you can come in the back end and do some administrative work like filing or data entry.
Now, PJ, I've known you for a long time, and you are very passionate about what you do. How did this first come about?
Yeah, so I think my passion stems from, riding in the back of my parents' station wagon while I was in elementary school. My mom was a volunteer for Meals on Wheels, so I learned at a very young age how important it is to feed your community and be there for your community when they are at their lowest point. So that's my passion, is trying to help people get back on their feet, be self-sufficient, and get back into their regular, work-life daily balance.
And for anybody that would like to find out more, maybe they want to donate, maybe they want to volunteer, how do we do that?
That'll be great. So HarfordCAA.org.
PJ, thank you so much. Like I said, you do such great work here at the pantry, and it's so important to bring awareness to all the people in Harford County that have these needs.
Thank you, Christy.
Well, coming up next, we're going to hear more about the food pantry and the food bank, so stay with us for all the details. Courtney Inslee is the Food Advocacy Assistant Director. That is quite a title here at Harford Community Action Agency. Courtney, thanks so much for taking the time. I know you are one busy woman.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Courtney, what does it mean to be a Food Advocacy Assistant Director? What does your role entail?
So a couple different things. So I work with pantry staff, including the pantry director, on a daily basis to help families in need that are specifically food insecure. And our pantry is open 4 days a week, and we help families through the food pantry by getting food on the table for them. And so we're open Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then another portion of my role is more of the food advocacy portion. So I do teach classes to local schools, organizations, other nonprofits to help families figure out how they can use that food and shop for food on a budget.
Well, give us a little bit of insight about how you teach that. That's very good information to know.
Yeah, so usually the first step is I reach out to the schools or another organization such as Anna's House, and I work with the people there to get families to sign up. And then usually I have around like 10 families involved in the class, and we work together for 6 weeks. We learn about My Plate, formerly known as the food pyramid. And so like the first week we'll start out with fruits, then move on to another food group such as vegetables. They'll learn how to shop for those foods specifically in that food group at the store. And then they also get ingredients to take home to make a healthy recipe involving that food group.
Now again, let's talk about getting to the pantry, appointments, or how do you arrange to get the food and all the items that you need in particular for your family?
So it's a very easy process. They can actually just walk in. They don't have to have an appointment. And when they come in, they can apply. We have applications outside of the door and inside, so they don't even have to come inside to grab it. They can apply online as well through our website. But when they do apply, they just provide a couple different documents with that application, and they can get food that same day as long as they're eligible.
Now, Courtney, let me ask you, how often can they visit the pantry and how much food are they allowed to take?
So each of our families receive the same amount of food. We give out, well, typically the same amount of food. It does change depending on what we get in, but they can use the pantry once every 30 days, and they are getting non-perishables and perishables. So I would say it's usually around 70 to 80 pounds of food that they're getting when they come in. They'll get during those 30 days. So it's a mix of meat, bread, dry goods, all the good, healthy stuff, and not just the canned goods.
Now, talk more about the mission of the Harford County Food Bank and Pantry.
Yeah, so I would just say, helping people where we can, wraparound resources are really important as well. Not just helping them with one service, but also helping them with something else they need, because usually, it's a domino type of effect. When they need help one area, they usually need help elsewhere as well.
Now, how does the Food Bank and Pantry, how do they get funding for, there's a lot of food here.
Yeah, so we do write grants, and we get support through our local, federal, and state government. And then we also do get funding through private grants as well.
Does the food bank support drives or events?
Yes. So that's something we're currently doing a lot of. We work with a lot of different organizations, libraries, just any local organizations, and then that funding specifically just goes back into the Harford County community. All the food that we're getting from those places through those fundraisers go right here in the pantry and out to the families.
Well, just give us an idea. Like, how many families do you help with food security average per month?
Per month. So around 700 families we help throughout the month, but that can obviously change based on how many people are applying. There definitely is an increase with need right now.
Courtney, what is the SNAP program? Is that the same thing as food stamps?
Yes, so it was formerly known as EBT. SNAP just stands for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, but it can also be known as food stamps. So with that program, we're a community-based organization, and so with that, we can help families or individuals apply for food stamps or SNAP if they're a first-time applicant or if it's been several years since they've had it. So what we do is we can sit down with that person that's applying in our lobby and help them apply, because we do have in-person applications, but if it's easier for them, we have the application online as well. Once we get everything from them, their documents and everything like that, we still work with them from that point forward, but we can submit everything online to Department of Social Services, and then they decide their eligibility.
Now, tell me, specific needs. Do you have a specific need for canned goods or meats or breads? Like, what is your biggest need?
I would say, canned goods is something we get in a lot through fundraisers. So, I mean, I don't know if there's one thing over the other, just because there's always going to be need for everything. But I would say, through fundraising and things like that, we do get a lot of canned goods. So I would say maybe more so the fresh items, especially fresh items during the non-growing season. So like right now we have a lot of fresh items, but trying to get that if we can, if it's possible, in the colder months as well.
Now, Courtney, one question I was curious about is when someone does take advantage of your services, is there privacy standards?
There is. So it depends on the type of service. I would say, as far as like the food pantry goes, we have one customer in the vestibule lobby area at a time. So when they come in, whether they're a new applicant or a returning applicant, they can come in. And, of course, if they're with a family member or anyone like that they're comfortable with, they can come in with them. But we do ask anyone else that is next in line that they don't necessarily know, that they wait outside to give them that privacy.
Now, we were talking off camera a little bit more about future programs and what you would like to do to bring more awareness to the Harford Community Action Agency. What kind of programs are you looking for?
I would say, as far as the food advocacy programs, that's something I've done in the past. I'm trying to kind of expand that program, involve more case management piece to it, because right now I do the class or have done the class, but I want to definitely work with the families a little bit more on a deeper level and figure out what other things they could use help with, not just food related, but if it's housing or energy assistance, things that we can link them to that are internal to the agency, but as well as external to the agency.
And all these classes that you do and all these programs that are available, this is something that Harford County residents should take advantage of. So how do we get in contact with you?
Yeah, so I guess the best way would be to go through our website. There should be all the contact information on there. But they can also, we try to promote as much as we can through outreach efforts as well. So we always bring our program flyer and things like that. So my contact information is on there as well, but my phone number or email is on there.
Courtney, thank you so much. That's a lot of information and a lot of work, but we have a lot of people in need here, so your services are so appreciated.
Thank you.
So how do we get the donations to the food pantry? We'll find out more after the break. Gary Harder is a food bank transporter. So what exactly does that mean? He is one hard-working man, and you might see him out on his route. Thank you so much for being with us, and of course, for all that you do.
Thank you.
Well, Gary, how did you first become involved with the Harford Community Action Agency?
It was about 3 years ago. I was looking for a career change. I just retired from the military and wanted to do something a little different, but wanted to stay in the service industry. And a friend of mine found the job posting on Facebook and showed it to me, and I called Kim, and things just kind of clicked and got hired.
Well, I know that you're a food transporter, so what exactly does that entail?
Yeah, what that entails is we are assigned several different stores within Harford County by the Maryland Food Bank. We also visit some local farms, and there's some donations that we also pick up from churches or schools or things of that nature. So that's where I get my food.
How do you donate the food? Do you have to come to this location, or are there certain locations that you can go to drop off your donations?
Well, I do know that coming here is always a viable option. They can also call the food pantry. We've had several organizations call us, and we'll either can pick it up with my truck that I drive, or they can bring it here themselves.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot of options. That's great. Now, the other question I had is the food bank, how is it affiliated with the Maryland Food Bank?
So we are what they call an RDO, or a redistribution organization for the food bank, and we represent Harford County for them.
So, Gary, how long have you been doing this?
Just coming up on 3 years next month, actually.
Now, Gary, there's a lot of things that you could volunteer your time with. Why Harford Community Action Agency?
There's so much. One, of course, is obviously that what we do for the community here in Harford County for food insecurities is a great opportunity for me. It's what I love the most. But working with the people and the volunteers here has just been a great blessing all on its own. So,
were you surprised at how many people were in need in Harford County?
Actually, I was. I mean, I knew there was a great need, but I didn't know how great it was until I started working here.
How can someone's donation make a difference? What if someone says, I want to donate, but will my one donation make a difference?
Well, all donations make a difference. I mean, if you look around here, you'll see the food that we've gotten, and most of it has been brought here by donations. We wouldn't be able to do what we do if it wasn't for the good people in the area that donated their food and their time and their money.
And for anyone that's interested in volunteering, why should they?
Why should they? I think it's a great opportunity to meet new people and just get that sense that you've done something great for Harford County and for the people that are in need.
And Gary, if someone does volunteer, is there a certain age requirement that needs to be met?
Yeah, so there is real no max age if you're just physically able to do the job, but I think we're looking for people that can drive, so at the age of 16, and if they're not able to drive below the age of 16, then they just have to be accompanied by a parent or a guardian, like the Girl Scouts or large organizations that involve kids.
Oh, absolutely. Great way to give back. Just give us an idea, your typical day, your typical route.
A typical route is I visit anywhere from 4 to 7 stores in any given day. I only work Monday through Thursday, so the store route is always different each day, which kind of makes it more interesting for me. But I start my day 7:30 in the morning, head out to the first store and just load the truck with as much merchandise as they have to offer. Probably around lunchtime, I get back to the food pantry. After lunch, we unload the truck, weigh everything, and then put it where it belongs. And then I have to document all that into our database.
And what kind of time commitment is involved with your position?
Anywhere from 6 to 8 hours easily.
Gary, thank you so much. And like you said, what a great cause. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything better than helping people with food insecurity. So thank you.
Thank you.
Now, what is Maryland Energy Assistance? We're going to find out more about that program when we come back. Kathy Lusage is here today. She is the Assistant Director here at Harford Community Action Agency, and she is also going to talk to us about their many energy programs. Kathy, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, Kathy, what is the Maryland Energy Assistance Program?
So the Maryland Energy Assistance Program helps low-income families with their utility bills, and not just their utility bills, but also if they need help with oil or propane or kerosene or wood, whatever their main heating source is. So as long as they are income eligible and we're at 200% of poverty for the income guidelines, then we can offer assistance to help them.
So how do you apply for it?
So the program year runs on a fiscal year, so it starts on July 1st and then runs until June 30th of the following year.
Is it a lengthy application process?
It's not a lengthy process. There's many different ways that people can apply, so we try to accommodate whatever the situation is for the customer. So you can apply by fax, by email, in person in the office, through the portal that links directly into the state system. Fax, email, we can even use a telephonic form and do the application over the phone for someone that's homebound or just has trouble, maybe they're working and they just can't get to us during our working hours.
But what happens if someone gets a turn-off notice and can't pay the bill?
If they have a turn-off notice and they can't pay the bill, then we try to offer whatever assistance we can. You don't have to have a turn-off notice in order to apply for Maryland Energy Assistance. It's just it's almost something that you can factor into your household expenses as a way to help maintain the utility. But if you have an emergency, if your services are turned off or you do have a disconnect notice, then we expedite those right away so that we can help you and either hopefully to avoid being disconnected. And if we have whatever resources we put towards the bill, if there's still an outstanding balance, then we refer you to other community partners.
Now, once you get people back on their feet with finances, how do you teach them to maintain that status?
Well, we work with them with other partners, community-based and church-based partners in the community, so that we're all kind of working together to maintain self-sufficiency for Harford County residents. And if someone can apply in July and then have a need that comes up in maybe November in the crisis season and the heating season, and then we can see if there's anything we can add or other resources that we can refer if we don't have anything available at our disposal here at the office.
Now, speaking about timing, October is Energy Awareness Month. How are you bringing more attention to this?
So we're going to have energy saving tips and things posted in our lobby, on social media, on Facebook, on our website to encourage people with energy saving tips. And there's also different resources that both Delmarva Power and Baltimore Gas and Electric has for energy saving tips and resources that we can refer to.
So what are some of the top energy saving tips?
Well, I think it's some of the things are, making sure that lights are out, doing laundry once a week. There's like peak hours that the utility has so that you're not using as much energy if you're doing things in different times of the day. We also have, not through our office, but we can refer someone to weatherization, which is a section they can complete in the application. So we can refer someone to weatherization and they can do a home energy audit so that they can check for gaps and leaks and different things, seals, different things, and insulation, minor things that can be fixed at a low cost and no cost to a homeowner.
And what kind of partnerships have you formed within the business community? Because we know it takes a village.
It does take a village. We work with over 125 partners in the community. We work with Department of Social Services, Mason-Dixon. We work with faith-based community, different local churches in the area. We also have Mason-Dixon in northern Harford County. So there are a lot of different places that we work with on a daily basis. Office on Aging, trying to think, the health department, different. We all work together and navigate for the common goal to help our residents be successful.
So are you still looking for more community partnerships?
We're always looking for community partners because, as you said, it does take a village. So everybody needs help every once in a while, and we're here to help.
Now, how do you help someone transition, let's say, from homelessness to self-sufficiency?
So we are the screening for Harford County for the homeless services. So we will assess the person and the situation to see what needs need to be met. We can put them in temporary housing. We can try to expedite them to put them on list for permanent housing. But there's also a lot of barriers that can prevent someone from going into a permanent residence. So we navigate working with them with getting vital records, driver's license, different things that will prevent them from setting up a new residence. Sometimes even on the Maryland Energy Assistance side, sometimes a prior electric bill with the utility will prevent someone from being able to get that location and get that residence. So that's something that we can help with too.
Can you talk to me a little bit about your family services?
We do have plenty of family services because when someone comes in, we tackle the whole family and whatever needs that we can, whether that's housing or food or utilities. We work with them because we're a one-stop shop. So they can come in the door or by phone, email, fax. We have a lot of different ways to work that. But when they come in, we make sure that every need is met. And if we can't meet it here, then we're going to refer them.
Now, what about health and disability services? Are those also offered?
We don't offer those here, but we offer through SEDCO to offer for health services, and then for disability or things like that, we partner with Department of Social Services to get them set up to start to apply for disability or the TDAP, different things until they get permanent disability.
How do you assist with jobs and unemployment?
Jobs and unemployment, we have a working partnership with Beacon Staffing, also the Susquehanna Work Center, so that we can work with them to navigate something just as simple as buffing up a resume or helping with interview skills, different things, or different life skills to help them to be successful.
And Kathy, why do you do what you do?
Because I like helping people.
And congratulations. I believe I heard you were Employee of the Year.
I was, yes, thank you. But that, if I'm successful, it's just because of the people I'm around. And together we help to make everyone successful. You can't fail working here.
Kathy, thank you again for all that you do. PJ says you are one of the nicest people that she's ever met, and congratulations on Employee of the Year. Well deserved.
Well, thank you so much. Thanks for coming out and visiting with us and seeing what we do here.
As you have seen today, Harford Community Action Agency goes out of their way to help all these Harford County residents. PJ, it is amazing what you and your staff can do.
Thank you.
And tell us more about what we can expect in the future and how Harford Community Action Agency is here to help you.
So you can expect us to be more in the agriculture business and expect more from the Harford County Food Bank and possibly Harford County Food Bank Farm.
Well, they are here to help you with all your food, energy, and housing burdens. So for more information, PJ?
HarfordCAA.org.
I'm Christy Breslin. See you next month on Harford MagaScene.